What's good? So, rough day, not gonna lie. Two losses. We did not over risk though, so valid risk management, but probably not the best trades ever, not gonna lie. Um, so going into the day, perfect pre-market setup here, which we did not get into, unfortunately. I think it'd be on NASDAQ. So, wow, it is bugging like crazy. Gosh darn. All right, so we get pre-market about 8 a.m. We inverse this 15-minute gap here. I was trying to see if it's going to react off this and continue higher or reverse it and then potentially go for these London lows, which obviously it did. It reversed this on this candle, retraced back into it, also into a, on ES, it retraced into this gap. So double 15-minute gap, and then it also retraced into a 5-minute. Could not get the 1-minute entry, unfortunately. It kind of looked like this. If I can pinpoint it. I want to say 8 a.m. I want to say it was like this. Yeah. Wow, bro. I can't. Chill. So I want to say it was basically like this. I had a limit order in, and it was like 3 points away from the limit order. Did not tap it. For me to get this is a like whatever 4R. For me to get 2R at this London low, it would have to limit order me in, and it did not. So unfortunately, it came just below that, and then it started ripping down. And I mean, we could have maybe like put take profit past. Could have entered market on this second candle, and then put limit order or put the take profit past the actual draw. But that's kind of a guess, and I'd rather be sure that we're going for this draw. I mean, could have went break even and then had nothing to lose at the same time. If I'm being honest, that's probably what I should have done, is just take profit somewhere around here, and once it hits this draw, just break even and then hope that it potentially hits that take profit point to get a decent risk reward. But I ended up not entering that just because I've been doing a lot of limit orders, and some trades it's been good for better risk rewards, but then others I just completely miss the move, and I think that's pretty bad. So I think I should really be entering market more than limit, depending on. I mean, I could do a limit order if I wanted to tap into a gap, but if it's just something like this, I should really be doing a market order from now on. That was kind of mistake on my end, and we really missed out on a solid move. The stop loss was a little bit up here. It was off the 5-minute gap, so that would also be why. Yeah, so as you can see here, this is like a 1.6 to the draw, so I'd have to go somewhat past it, but honestly, that's what I should have done. And then getting into the actual trades for the day. Yes, we took both trades on ES just because of sizing and whatever. Pretty interesting day. So we open market, we come down, we sweep lows. Well, we swept this low pre-market, and then we resweep that low, and then we rally up, and then come down for retraces. And at that point, I'm looking okay, looking pretty bullish. We did take out there was a, I want to say a 1 hour high. Maybe not a 1 hour high, just reswept the current session low. So we did sweep this, but we moved up, made a 5-minute gap. We stayed in this gap. We kept coming down. While we were coming down and we were respecting this gap on ES, NASDAQ instead was a lot more bearish. And we came down and we swept out these stacked session lows, which was a really solid draw, and I really wanted to go for them, but there was no entry for me to go for those at all because we kind of swept them out in the first 15 minutes of market open. So we came down, we swept that, and honestly, I'm looking pretty bullish. Also on the 5-minute, we inverse this 5-minute gap to the upside, and that's looking pretty solid for me to take a trade. This first sweep move, break, and retrace, this full move right here kind of was avoided because I was looking more at Nasdaq with it trending kind of down. So I really wanted to see what would happen with that. But by the time I seen, okay, we're respecting this, we also had these 15-minute gaps that we're bouncing off of. We're staying within them, and I guess we respected them, and now we're moving down finally. But we basically gave the 5-minute setup. We swept to the downside, 5-minute break to the upside, 5-minute retrace. And at that point, we're just looking for a 1-minute break to the upside. As you can see here, by the time we broke to the upside on the 1 minute, we're all the way up here. We're extended as heck. And I'm not going to take this with a stop loss down here, take profit at this. We're going to be in like 0.5 RR for that. We're not even going to try that. So we waited for a retrace. If it just went to the draw without retracing, I would avoid this trade completely, but instead we came down. We're still in 1-minute uptrend on ES. So we come down, we're in this gap, we're in 5-minute equilibrium again, and we're sitting inside this gap. So I decided to enter with the stop under this gap. And by that time, Nasdaq, that 5-minute inverse that it created, that was right here. The 5-minute inverse that it created, I was waiting for that to retrace down into it, and it ended up actually inversing that gap instead. So by the time it inversed that and we broke to the downside on the 1 minute, I'm deciding, and we also inversed this 1-minute gap right here. I'm like, okay, there's no way that I want to stay in this trade. There's just the things that I was going off of, it ended up inversing on the more bearish pair, and I'm not really loving that. So I exited this trade with half risk. That's the only reason why I took a second trade. Took a second trade with half risk. As you can see, we got stopped out, and now we're finally moving down to take profit, which is unfortunate. I wanted to take this trade on Nasdaq for sure, but the sizing, it's stupid because I have to risk $100 per trade because I'm de-risked on these accounts unless I start up in the risk and then have a higher chance of blowing them. But I can't even risk $100 on a micro on Nasdaq. I have to do ES. The one contract on Nasdaq is 150, maybe 200, so I can't even risk on there if I wanted to. So I've been having to take the trades on the more bearish pair, or on the more bullish pair if I'm looking for a bearish trade. So taking on ES even though the play is Nasdaq, and then getting stopped out. This second one was probably not the best. It was kind of a fast entry. It was more off of the real trade would have been this Nasdaq one, which obviously would have hit. But this is more off of this candle on ES sweeping the highs. So that's my sweep. Give 5-minute break to the downside. And then 5-minute retrace to the upside, 1-minute break to the downside. So it's basically the same thing I was looking for on ES, just reversed, going for that. And entry would have been right here after we broke on the 1 minute. Stop right about here. Could have maybe gone stop right there. That would technically be the real stop placement. But honestly, this is the 5-minute high, so I'm fine with that as well. And then I most likely wouldn't have taken profit here. The only thing I didn't like about shorts was there's no draws to the downside. We have this draw all the way down here. ES has a little bit more. ES has some more stacked lows, as you can see right here. So that's why I was kind of okay with taking this on ES. I would have just broke even here and then really targeted like that, most likely. That would have been the play for ES. But honestly, a bad stop placement on ES, and super late to the move. So we entered at about 9:02, and looking on Nasdaq, the real entry would have been like 8:56. So we're like 5 minutes late, 8:02 or 9:02. Yeah, we're down here. So by the time we get the 5-minute retrace, we really want to be entering in this retrace instead of 5 minutes after entering on this candle, which is kind of random, and it could retrace a little bit more and stop me out, which is exactly what happened. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen today. I'd be interested to see if we continue pushing lower or if we would for some reason turn around now. It's just unfortunate to see two positions, one long, one short, and neither of them play out. They both get stopped out in the first couple minutes. So yeah, that's basically it for today. Not the best, I would say. I'm personally not in like the best mental headspace. Um, I'm just super tired right now, to be honest, and exhausted. A lot going on and a lot of stress. Not gonna lie. And trying to execute simply. And one of my rules for today was to not force any trades and to let the setups come to me. Sit back and be patient. Let the setup show up for me. And I mean, it's not like I forced crazy amount of trades. It's not like I've tried too hard to force a trade, I would say. It's just a pretty unsure bias. So I honestly should have just stayed out of the markets today, if I'm being real. Either the best trade would have been taking this and only this, or staying out of the markets today, to be honest. The ES trade, it was valid, but honestly, it's not high probability. This isn't my typical entry. I'd like to see like like break structure here and then retrace, get the entry in here, stop at the low. But honestly, look at that. This is not near textbook at all. So I don't know. I don't know. I think I need some sort of step back from trading, just to refresh and reset before pushing at it harder. I just think I've gotten too caught up in all the stress of it and everything, and I think it's getting to me. And not to like say that I need to take a break from trading, but just to like take a step back and get refocused more so, something like that. Um, I don't know. I just think it's really draining me. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. To be honest, not the best day, but they'll be better. So that'll be it for today. I'm honestly gonna go take a nap because I'm tired as heck and did not get a lot of sleep last night. So I'm gonna go do that, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Hopefully, do something to get better today. Hopefully, did not take a bad trade like I have. But catch you guys in the next one. Peace.